Parshas Ekev, Tavshinayim Ches. We're coming to you this week, actually in Eretz Yisrael still. We're coming to you from a place called Neve, which is in the Gush Etzion. If you see behind me, you could see actually the city of Efrat behind me. Very, very beautiful area. And we're bringing you the shir this week from here. And at the end of this week's parsha, we have a very familiar parsha of V'hoya im Shemoya. The parsha that we read, the second of the parshas of Kriya Shema, which we read twice a day. And in that parsha, the pasuk tells us three important words, and those words are Ula'avdoi b'chol levavchem, that we're going to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that we serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'chol levavchem, with your entire heart. And the Sifri tells us what those words mean. The Sifri tells us that it refers to Talmud. It refers to learning, that when we say serving Hashem with your heart, we're talking about learning Torah. And the Sifri continues and says that just like the avodah of the Mizbeach is called avodah, it's called working, it's called avodah, so too is learning. Learning is called avodah, ula'avdai b'chol levavchem. And then there's another familiar pshat. Another pshat in these words is the more familiar pshat. And why do we say, what is an avodah? The avodah is tefillah. Davening, when the pasuk tells us ula'avdai b'chol levavchem, that we're going to come to serve Hashem with our entire heart, is referring to levavchem, is referring to tefillah. And what is Ezo? The Chazal ask, Ezo avodah shebalev, what is avodah of your heart? Havei omer zu tefillah. Tefillah is a work of your heart. So we have two different things. We said that avodah of your heart is either learning or it is davening. And the Nesivos Shalom tells us that we really need to understand this Sifri that says that Talmud, that learning or teaching, whichever way you look at it, that Talmud is work of the heart. The Nesivos Shalom asks, what does that really mean? What does that mean? And really, because we see it in other places too. We say every day in davening, in Avos Olam, we say, V'sein b'libeinu bina. Give us the understanding to learning where b'libeinu, in our heart, which is also a very, very interesting lesson. Hu yiftach libeinu b'sayrasai, that Hashem will open your heart to your learning. We see that your heart and your learning have a lot to do with each other. But the obvious question is asked in Nesivos Shalom, isn't learning something which is related to your mind? What does it mean, Hu yiftach libeinu b'sayrasai? What does it mean to your heart should be open to learning? The same libeinu bina, understanding for learning, should be in your heart. I would think more it's something to do with your mind, with your brain. Why your heart? And also, why would the Sifri tell us that it's related to avodas hamizbeach? That just like the mizbeach is avodah, so too is learning avodah. So the Nesivos Shalom tells us that we need to try and understand what the Torah is to us. And we've mentioned in the past, there's a Bach in the Torah or Chaim Mem Zayin. The Bach tells us that the reason Hashem gave us the Torah was that we should learn the Torah, and the Torah should permeate every part of our being, and it should change us. That every part of our being should become more spiritual by learning the Torah. The Torah was not given to us just to read, just for knowledge, just to know things. It's meant that it should permeate us, and it should change every part of our being. It should connect every part of our body and every part of ourselves to the Shekhinah. And the Torah is our way of connecting to Hashem. We want to know, how does a Jew connect to Hashem? Uladov kaboy, we're supposed to cleave to Hashem, be connected to Hashem. The way to do it is through the Torah. The Torah is what connects every part of our being. And that is why Hashem gave us the Torah. And from here we see that the main reason we have the Torah is we have the Torah because of our heart. Because now we're looking to connect to Hashem. How does a person connect? when you say you're connected to another person, are you connected with your brain? Are you connected with your mind? You may have the same type of mind. You may start thinking like another person when you're connected, but the way to connect is with your heart. And every Jew has to keep in mind that we learn, for what reason? We learn the Torah so our hearts should be connected to Hashem. We don't learn the Torah for intellectual knowledge. There are many smart people in the world. There are many people who know a lot of things. That's not why we learn the Torah. So when we ask for Hatzlacha in Torah, when a person goes and davens, you're here in Eretz Yisrael, you go to the Kosa, you go to all these Mekamis HaKadosh, you ask for Hatzlacha in Torah. What are you asking for? That you should know a lot. Nesivos Shalom tells us we're asking V'sein b'libeinu bina and hu yiftach libeinu. We're asking that our hearts should, through the Torah, be more connected to Hashem. And it's for that reason that the Sifri tells us in our Parsha that B'chol Levavchem refers to Talmud. B'chol Levavchem refers to learning. And that is the main purpose of our learning. The main purpose of our learning is for our heart, that our heart should connect to Hashem. And really it is the same for tefillah. When a person davens, says in the Nesivos Shalom, it's the same pshat as we say in the Sifri for Talmud, we say it also for tefillah. Because the main point of tefillah, sometimes you wonder, you see somebody come into shul, you see somebody come and they're moving their mouth, blah, 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 just you're saying, what are you doing? If you're just saying words, that is not tefillah. Tefillah is that through the words that you're saying, your heart should connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that we should have a closer relationship. That's what tefillah is all about. And if one has the correct kavanah by learning and davening, it brings you closer to Hashem. That is uli avdoi b'chol avavchem, and that is why we compare Torah and tefillah to the avodah on the mizbeach. We wanted to know, how does it compare to the mizbeach? Because the point and the goal of the Mizbeach was to be Mekayim ba'asuli mikdash b'shachanti b'soicham, that there should be a Beis HaMikdash, there should be a Mishkan in every single person. And through the karbanos that are brought in the Mishkan or in the Beis HaMikdash, where we get a kapara, we stay close to Hashem. The karbanos, it's even a lashon of karov. It's a lashon of being close. Through the karbanos, we came closer to Hashem. So davening and learning are meant to be the same. They're meant to be to bring us closer to Hashem. The karbanos created a dveikus b'Hashem, and so the Torah and tefillah. The tachlis is to create where we are more closer to Hashem. And just as the Mizbeach had an eish tamid, says in the Nesivos Shalom, Mizbeach had a constant fire, so too a person needs to be consistent in their davening. A person needs to be consistent in your learning, to make sure that you make time for davening, to have that time to be close to Hashem, to make sure that you make time for learning, that you create that time to be closer to Hashem. And it should be with an eish. It should be with a little bit energy. We shouldn't be asleep when we're at davening. We shouldn't be asleep when we're in shul. It should be with an eish, with a little bit of fire, of a desire and a want to be close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Where we give it all of your heart. B'chol avavchem. Give it all of your heart, and then you'll be doing it right. When you daven with heart, and when you learn with heart, and it's not just by rote and by saying, and we come to shul at 7 o'clock, and we come back at 6 o'clock, and we say the words, and sometimes we don't go, was I just in shul? Did I just daven? Oh yeah, I think I was here. Did I daven mincha today? I'm not even sure. Where it becomes so, no, you need to create the time and the energy and the closeness with Hashem by your davening. And that is what the Torah tells us. Especially we have the opportunity when we're here in Eretz Yisrael, we have the opportunity, which is a place in this week's Parsha, Einei Hashem Aleikecha, the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu are on Eretz Yisrael, Mereishis Hashana v'Yad Achri Shana. The eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu are always here. Where we're closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to begin with. We start off way ahead when we're in Eretz Yisrael. But the idea is your tefillos have to mean something. Your tefillos have to come from your heart. Your entire heart has to be in it. And it is only then that we can understand and we'll start to feel that closeness. And that is our parsha, to give Hashem our whole heart, to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu with our entire being, which includes and begins with our heart.